Now we're going to get into how to start your own happening. Yeah? I mean, this one right here is really simple. Just have a giant chalk drawing on the sidewalk happening, right? All you need to do is go to your local art supply store or toy store and get a whole bunch of chalk for the sidewalk, invite a bunch of friends and just start handing them out to people and start drawing on the sidewalk, right? Start small if you want, or you can go either really big, try and get, hundreds of people to do some kind of synchronized dance, right? Anyways, whatever you're going to do, the rules that I'm about to give you are a guideline to help you in creating your own happening. Now, first of all, let's look at the anatomy of a happening or anatomy of a flash mob, right? So if we look at the anatomy and how we break down each of the core events, we start with the preparation. You got to prepare, know where it's happening, know when it's happening, know how it's happening, what are the rule sets, what are people going to do, so on and so forth. We're going to look at the preparation, how to prepare for that. Next, you're going to need to crowdsource people, convince people to come and join your happening, right? Otherwise, it's just going to be you solo dancing at the Sasquatch Festival with no one else joining, right? Next, you're going to need to think of your sync moment. Now, I'm going to go into a little further detail on this. The sync moment is essentially how you sync everybody up to create this moment, to create this experience. Then you want to do a slow build towards a climax, right? Where it kind of crescendos into this great thing, and then after it crescendos in this climax, that's when you want it to disperse and disappear as if it was never there. Yeah? And here we see, boom, 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 the 5 core elements to creating a flash mob. Okay? Now, let's break each of these down. The first thing you need to figure out when creating your flash mob is, what is your goal? What is it that you're trying to achieve? Are you trying to bring a community together? Are you trying to say something of political nature? Are you trying to bring awareness around a certain subject? Or are you just trying to create something which will bind people together in a playful experience in a world that is so divided against each other? I prefer the latter, right? So, what is your goal? What is it that you want people to do? And this can be something that's very small, but let's look at the self-determination theory again. When deciding, what you're going to do for your flash mob and what is the goal, think of that higher purpose goal. Think of it, how could a contribution, of more than just one person, more than just one individual, create something larger than life? Yeah, that should be your goal. Then you have to start to think about, okay, how do I prepare and provide the tools and space for people to be able to participate? And that way you're creating the autonomy, right? And then you have to make sure that you got that mastery in. So you're going to make that challenge level low of whatever that larger purpose is. And you're going to provide the tools and space to make sure that that challenge level is low. So it's much easier for people to master the skill needed to take on that flash mob challenge. Now, let's have a look in how you can frame or decide or create a collaborative artwork even. This is a case study I want to show you of art in space by a friend of mine named Gabe Mac. And Eyal had this incredible project that he was doing together with NASA, but he had to, well, not that he had to, but what he wanted to do is he wanted to do one of these collaborative co-op art projects. Yeah, for many years we had been talking about, how you could do something like that. How could you crowdsource from all over the world all of this media, all of this input, all of this creativity into one large project? So first of all, this is Eyal Gabe Mac. good friend of mine, and he is the world's leading 3D printing artist, right? His work is mostly the virtual animations of everything from explosions to dancers, you know, with waterfalls and all kinds of stuff. And it is incredibly realistic. So realistic that many people are like, I can't believe that's not real. Even scientists I've talked to have said they're perplexed at how he was able to virtually create some of these different fragments and stuff. But then he doesn't stop there. Oh no, no. What he does is he finds this, what he calls moment suprême, right? This sublime or supreme moment in which everything is about to completely fall apart, but it's still attached. And in that frame, that moment, that's when he freezes these animations and he creates a 3D printed sculpture. And so because his work is incredibly kinetic, you can see it in there's museums all over the world that now have his work. He was actually asked by NASA to do a project with the task of printing 3D in zero gravity. That's right. They wanted to take a 3D printer up into space, but as you know, 3D printers, they kind of go like this, and they build up. And they're using gravity, right, for it to bind together and cool. But what happens when there's no gravity and it's spewing out and it's just like, bleh, bleh, you're not going to be able to 3D print, right? Yet, this is an incredibly needed tool if we ever want to do any kind of space exploration, to be able to go somewhere in space, see, well, we need this kind of drone to penetrate that atmosphere, or we need this kind of tool to fix that. To be able to 3D print that would be incredible use for these long space durations. So this is why it was incredibly important for NASA to get it right, and that's why they said, hey Al, could you help us with this? So what he did is he crowdsourced laughter from around the world, this idea of human laughter. What is the voice? What is that handprint? What is that message that we want to send out to the world? It's not, you know, crying, it's not Mozart, no. Laughter. Human laughter. Come on to Earth if you want to have a good laugh. Come on down, aliens, if you want to see a good joke, right? So laughter was what he basically created, these animations that you could record your laughter in audio, and it would use that waveform and create these different sculptures. And then the one that was voted the highest, the one that was voted the most, was actually the one that was 3D printed and sent off into space. Now, if that doesn't inspire you enough, have a look at this creators project where Eyal talks about it. It was a short documentary about what this whole project of the laugh was about.